Hi everyone, this is Season. I am here today with your Devo for your Sunday. Hope you guys are doing good. Just wanted to, congratulate everybody that was out working on the drama today for Elevate. Man, you guys looked phenomenal. Very sweet dance moves. We have quite a few dancers I didn't realize. So you guys did awesome. Just want to thank you for coming out and being a part, and want to encourage you to stick with it. It's going to be awesome and bless a lot of people. I'm going to be talking today out of 1 Corinthians chapter 6. Just going to share one quick verse with you and just talk about it for a second. Here, Paul's writing to the church of Corinth, and he's talking about a lot of different things in this chapter, but what I want to focus on today is in verse 12, where he says, everything is permissible for me, but not everything is beneficial. Everything is permissible for me, but I will not be mastered by anything. Season, what in the world is he talking about? Let me read it out of the Message too. He says here, just because something is technically legal doesn't mean that it's spiritually appropriate. If I went around doing whatever I thought I could get by with, I'd be a slave to my whims. So basically here Paul's saying that there are a lot of gray areas as we walk further in our relationship with God, and we try to do the right thing and we strive for that. If you haven't already, you're gonna come up to gray areas like, should I watch this movie? Should I listen to this music? Should I have this girlfriend? Should I have this boyfriend? Is it okay to say these words? Is it okay to go to these places? And so on and so forth. So we come across all of these gray areas that maybe the Bible doesn't necessarily talk about directly. It does hit a lot of issues, but maybe it's an area that the Bible just doesn't flat out say, hey, don't do this. I want to talk about that today. I think that as young people, we are striving to have a wonderful relationship with God and be used by Him, and that is our desire. But I think, speaking from experience, that there are areas sometimes that we allow in our life that maybe aren't necessarily sin or the worst thing that we could be doing, but at the same time it might not be pushing us closer to our goal. And if our goal is to have a solid relationship with Christ and to lead people to Christ and to allow Him to use us, that means that we need to look at our entire life and what are areas that maybe I'm spending my time doing this instead of something that's pushing me closer to my goal. So I just wanted to talk about that today. Here Paul's saying everything is permissible for me, but not everything is beneficial. What I want to encourage you to do, even on the Sunday, is to begin to look at different areas of your life. And you might say, Season, this music's not necessarily Christian, but it's not bad. They're not cussing, or they're not talking dirty, or so on and so forth. But you have to think, is this an area of my life that you need to ask God? Is this an area that you want me to give up to you? Maybe I'm allowed to do it. Maybe it's okay. Not necessarily a sin issue. But is it pushing me closer to you? Is it benefiting my walk with Christ? And with this, we have to understand we're never going to be perfect. We are always going to have areas that we're working on. But I think that's the key, that we're working. And when we begin to compromise in areas or get comfortable, well, I love God and I'm a Christian, but I'm okay with leaving all these other areas untouched. That maybe they're not major sin areas, but at the same time, they're not really pushing me closer to God either. Then we begin to evaluate, is this really benefiting my walk? Is this really helping me? I heard a saying, what you feed is going to grow. So if I'm feeding my flesh, maybe with stuff that's not necessarily what we would view as this is majorly sinful, But that flesh area is going to grow because we're feeding it. The same is true with our spirit man and our relationship with God. If I feed that relationship with God instead of watching the movie, or instead of playing that video game, or instead of reading my book, or hanging out with my friends, none of those things are wrong. All of those things are fun, and I do them, and I know you guys do, and all's great. They're not sin issues. But if I want to be closer to God and grow in my relationship, I have to begin to say, what am I feeding more? Am I feeding more my relationship with God? Or am I feeding more maybe what my flesh wants to do, or what it feels like doing? Because what I feed is going to grow, and what I starve is going to die. And we all talk about, we want to be more like Christ, and we want to take on his character. That means that we have to feed our relationship with him, and that's what's going to grow. So I want to challenge you today. Maybe just look over, what do I spend my time doing? What, if I have free time and nothing's required of me, what do I spend that doing? And I want to challenge you. Maybe take one of those times that you would flip on a movie or put on a video game, or whip out that favorite book, or go hang out with friends, talk on the phone, get on Facebook, those types of things. I want to challenge you, the moment that you would be tempted to go do that, or that would be something your flesh wants to do, to say, wait, this isn't necessarily bad for me, but man, I want to sow and feed that relationship with God so that that grows. And what I choose to do right now is going to benefit my walk. Does that make sense? I sure hope so. So once again, it's 1 Corinthians 6:12. Paul here is encouraging you. There are a lot of areas that maybe not necessarily are bad, but are they helping me become more like Christ? Are they encouraging me? Are they filling me with good thoughts? Are they giving me hope? Are they causing me to be depressed or lonely, or just the opposite of what we should be feeling and what we should be feeding? So take a look at your week. Maybe just break down one day. Maybe journal. That's what I did on Monday. And begin to see where you're spending your time. And I want to challenge you. Take just a pocket of what maybe you would choose to do elsewhere. Take out your Bible, and I want to challenge you. Begin to read it. You say, "Susan, I don't understand it. It's hard. I get confused." Man, a great easy book to start off is Psalms. Just begin to read through some of David's Psalms and begin to make those your prayer to God, and spend some time with him and begin to feed that relationship with him. And the more times you choose that over what your flesh wants to do, that's the stronger that your relationship with him is going to be. And you're going to be able to be that Christian that you long to be, and that you admire about other people. You're going to be able to be that as you sow into that relationship. Man, I love you guys today, and once again, I'm so proud of you guys choosing Christ and choosing to walk this walk. I know it requires us giving up what our flesh wants to do daily, but man, the rewards are so much greater and so outweigh what we're giving up. God has been so faithful to us and continues to be. Man, if you missed this morning, you missed an awesome sermon just about salvation. And every time I hear a sermon about salvation, I'm reminded of God's love for us and how it doesn't change. So thank him today for that. And I just want to challenge you, spend some time in his word and spending time with him. He's just waiting for you. We love you guys, and we will see you on Wednesday.